Hey there folks, today we're covering the item rarity system in our single-player RPG created using the Unreal Engine, and as a bonus, we're also going to be talking a bit about our first ever 24-hour game dev challenge on the channel, the Halloween Special. So let's get to it. Greetings citizens of the interweb, Matt here, your hydro-powered ruler and guide to all things gaming and game development. I'm here this week to present yet another video showcasing our single-player medieval fantasy RPG that we're creating using the power of the Unreal Engine. Today's episode will cover the item rarity system in Knightwatch and what all of it will have an effect on. Things like weapon damage, armor protection, item value, and more. Today's episode covers the system we created all the way back in the original episode 10 from a couple years ago. You know the drill at this point. Since its creation, the system has evolved so much that I felt the need to make an updated video. This does mean that you're going to see a good mix of new and old footage. In today's episode, I actually have no idea what the hell we're going to be doing. Give me 1 second. As while much of the rarity system has evolved, there are still parts that remain the same. And for the parts that have changed, I want to highlight the main differences between now and 2 years ago. Anyways, let's jump in, shall we? In the last video, we talked about guns and other weapons in the game, and before that, we talked about armor. What do all of these things have in common? Common. Not a rarity system pun, just a
happy accident.
It's less funny each time I read it. Anyways, like I said in the previous video, weapons use a tiered rarity system similar to the armor in the game. Item rarity feeds into the formula to generate how powerful a weapon is. This formula is influenced by a variety of factors such as weapon rarity, weapon type, the player's ranged weapon skill, and their overall player level. This value, like other weapons in the game, is further influenced by the level of the character or creature you're shooting. As I said in the previous video, higher level characters will take less damage, and lower level characters will take higher damage. Alright, all caught up. Let's expand on that a bit then, shall we? So the whole rarity system is based on chance, similar to the RNG systems in place in games like Destiny, which I do know I keep bringing up. I'm sorry. Basically, there are different levels of probability for each rarity being applied to a weapon. The most common weapon, of course, is, well, common. Then you have higher ranking rarities like uncommon, rare, mythical, and legendary. The way it works in game is, well, I'm going to change up the values and super oversimplify my explanation to avoid making things overly complicated. Let's say you have a great big pool of possible items that can drop when you loot an enemy or a container in the game. Then we'll say there's a 50% chance of the item that spawned being a common item. Of the remainder, let's say there's a 25% chance it'll be an uncommon item, 12.5% chance it'll be rare, 10% chance it'll be mythical, and finally a 2.5% chance it'll be legendary. The system is actually very similar to the spawn tables in a Pokemon game. Say you're playing Pokemon Fire Red and you keep finding useless Nidorans in the Safari Zone. They would be kind of like the common items that drop. They have a high spawn rate and they go straight in the trash. What you're really looking for is that low spawn rate super rare item that nobody has. And then of course you throw it in storage anyways because it was just for bragging rights.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't.
The real prize was the only kind of rare god roll jack of all trades item. You know, the thing that literally everybody else has because it's better than half the stuff in the game even though it's not that rare. Basically what I'm saying is Scyther is the bygones of Pokemon Fire Red. What was I talking about? Who cares, next chapter. So the formula for armor rating is very similar to the formula for how weapon damage is calculated. The formula takes into account the base armor rating from whatever piece of armor you have equipped, your corresponding skill level for that particular piece of armor, plus any added bonuses from potions for example, the item's rarity level, and finally any armor perks unique to that piece of armor. So what you end up with is, well, it's effectively the formula from Skyrim for calculating armor values, but I promise I have changed a few things. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Keep in mind that I use the phrase ain't broke pretty loosely because remember,
sometimes it doesn't just work.
remember when I talked about old footage? Well, it's time I delivered on that. So, if you've seen the previous episode on weapon rarities, this is what item drops used to look like in the game world. As you can imagine, this would probably be a little overwhelming when you have a room filled with lootable items. It would probably look like you just killed someone in Fortnite, honestly. Not the aesthetic I want to go for in Knightwatch. So now, when lootable items appear in the world, they don't have all the special color-coded effects around them. Instead, a little interact tooltip appears on screen to indicate that the item can be picked up. I think I might bring back the item highlight effect from before, where a little outline spawns around the item if you look at it. That way it can still indicate the rarity of a weapon without creating this big rainbow mess of items. Let me know what you think in the comments. How would you highlight lootable items? Should I add the item outline effect back into the game, or just have the interact tooltip appear on its own? I think having both is probably the best choice, but I have been wrong before. Anyways, let me know your thoughts below. Okay, so fortunately for you, and unfortunately for my wallet, there's no sponsor for today's video. Instead, I wanted to call some attention to a previous project I worked on. So, if you're a longtime viewer of the channel, you may be familiar with the first ever 24-hour game challenge I completed right here on the channel. For those of you who don't know, as a little Halloween surprise 2 years ago, I created a complete and playable horror game from start to finish in only one day. In fact, you can actually download and play the game right now, bugs and all, if you wish. It's super old, and I didn't have any time to fix it after I passed my allotted 24 hours, so don't expect too much. If you're interested in checking that video out, I'll leave a link here on screen. If, however, you want the TLDR first before you decide, here's a general rundown of what we did. So, we decided to do a challenge following a very specific set of rules. I have 24 hours to complete a game, but it doesn't have to be 24 consecutive hours. For example, I could work on the game for 2 hours a day for 12 days. Something I forgot to cover in the main challenge videos, waiting for files to load, save, install, build, extract, etc. do not count toward my time total. Pretty much anything with a loading or progress bar that isn't an actual part of the game does not count. Seriously, have you guys seen how long it takes for Unreal Engine to load a build of any project, no matter how small? Somehow I don't think I get many views on a video titled, "I had 24 hours to complete a loading bar from start to finish." Anyways, second rule. I can use marketplace assets like 3D models, but no pre-made scenes. Which brings us to the next rule. I have to work alone. I can't outsource any work or call in any sort of help from the outside world besides having people test the game for bugs. And just for fun, the fourth and final rule is, during the creation and testing process, headphones must be used at all times and the lights must be turned off. This fourth rule goes for all of you viewers out there as well too, since you can download and play the game right now. So does that sound fun or what? Not convinced yet? Then maybe you need to check out this super awesome, super scary jump scare I added to the game to absolutely scare the pants off of any new players foolish enough to give the game a try. Alright, that's it. Okay, Matt, anything to add, or are we ready to start?
I think we're ready to start.
Alright, let's do this. And it broke. In all seriousness, I had a lot of fun with this project, and despite how dumb it is, I'm really proud that I was even able to complete a game from start to finish in just one single day. Now a question for you guys. Would you like to see if I can redo this game in only 24 hours, but as an added bonus, I get to use Knightwatch, which by the way is the name of the game we're creating on the channel if you don't already know the name. I get to use Knightwatch as the foundation. That means all of the movement systems, weapons, armor, the quest system, the UI, everything will be in our horror game already. Is that something you'd be interested in? Basically what that means is the only thing I would have to focus on is making a legitimately scary monster with cool chase mechanics. And who knows, if I did go through with the project, maybe it would make it into the actual game as a fun sort of Easter egg quest. Let me know in the comments below. And no developer shout out for today either. Instead, in keeping with our Halloween theme, I thought it might be fun to do a little compilation of all my favorite moments from our previous 24-hour game dev Halloween special. Enjoy. That was the first jump scare!
I knew that was going to be a jump scare. Oh, is that Shrek coming at me?
Did you jump?
No, I didn't jump.
Okay, he's coming. You gotta figure out how to stop him. Why don't you try clicking the F button? Now hit him with the flashlight.
Mother...
Not yet.
Oh. Try the key pin on the locked cabin. It may open the door. Maybe creepy at will.
Oh, you've got to be
no,
shitting me. This is not going how I thought it would. The jump scares is... That means that none of the jump scares are going to work at all.
Does that mean I get a trophy?
No. You want to take an intermission while I move the files where they're supposed to be?
Yeah.
Fuck me. Okay, folks. The stream has ended. Cricket noise. Yeah, that's great. Hi. So that didn't go as expected. Okay, if it's not too loud already, here's your warning. God, that's so... I am expecting it every time and it still bursts my fucking eardrums. This is the beacon. We're gonna get... Get out of here! And then he scurries off into the woods. Okay, let's see if the code works.
Psych! That's the wrong number!
Now see, wouldn't that have been nice if it worked when it was supposed to? Oh, where is he? Where is he? I hear him! I hear him! Oh, it's so stupid. I know, I hear it getting louder.
Do you not have headphones on or something?
I do. Oh my god! Sweet fuck. None of my,
Some lore behind this?
Well,
there
there
a deeper story?
No, there's not. It was like 24 hours, 23 hours of like getting all the game mechanics and everything working. And then like an hour to put the environment and the story together. Come on, you fat bastard, let's go. What's scarier, the door closing or the lack of sound effects when it happens? It's just crickets. It's always the crickets.
Oh, hello there! How are you doing in my swamp? I'm bigger than you, I'm higher in the food chain!
Fuck you, Shrek. Our names are Matt, in case you didn't pick that up. Alright, happy Halloween, go fuck yourselves, bye.